Hey folks, it's Moxley here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us today for one of the biggest events of AEW. It is our pay-per-view for the month of May. It is Double or Nothing. It's the first time that we get to do this event, and it also will mean we are pretty much 1 year into the save, so really making sure this is a spectacular event. As you can see there, we've got a major band playing. Due to the size of the company now, we can allow a B-list celebrity, and we're also going to spend $250,000 on a special set for what truly will be a special occasion. The event's live on Lucha Report Live, Fight TV and In Demand, and the show itself is going to take place from Lad Pebble Stadium in, I was going to say Atlanta, Georgia, that's not true, in Mobile, Alabama. So without further ado, we'll crack on. There's about 24 segments on the show roughly, no pre-show matches, just a really good card. So thank you for enjoying the journey so far. Let's hope we get into another good year, and as always, if you want to get social, you know what to do. If you want to buy the game, etc., try it out, get some mods, etc., everything's in the description below. Enough of that, we've got Double or Nothing, let's go. So 44,953 in attendance, just shy of that 45k, and we start the show with a hype package, a video documenting what is going to be our main event for the All Elite Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, as Hangman Page will defend it against not only MJF but also John Moxley. So an 86 for that, so that's a good benchmark to start the show. The first matchup was superb, and it saw Cody defeat Brodie Lee in 1938 with the Beautiful Disaster in 84. A good victory from Cody, both guys benefiting from hot new moves, but there was only going to be one winner here, and Cody just continues to get better. But a good result, and really delighted that Brodie Lee was able to get that level of performance as well. So a good opener, the 84. Hell, that could even beat some of our main events. We then had the special debutant for the Casino ladder match for a chance to win the title shot for the AEW World Championship. Kenta is the man. Became available, and I just thought, like, let's just give him a chance, a year or two just to destroy people. Unfortunately, because a special entrance is a 5-minute thing, so you get the lack of anything interesting happening. It's just one of those things. Kinda looked good. The segment was a 51, although his man in a mission gimmick unfortunately drew an initial rating of poor. Match itself had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and it saw Kenta pick up the win over Scorpio Sky, Brian Cage, Jacob Fatu, Darby Allin and Lance Archer in the ladder match in 1736 when Kenta retrieved the item. A 72, and in terms of in-ring work, Darby Allin was head and shoulders above the rest. So we gave a crazy bump for Darby to take, and unfortunately he has sustained a bruised eye socket. We nearly blinded him. That would have been terrible if we'd have done that. A lot of decent performances though. Darby with 88, a 66 for Lance Archer, 67 for Scorpio Sky. But I think it's something to certainly be delighted at. As I say, that would have been a 74 or a 75 had you not got the injury. But overall, looking forward to Kenta getting an opportunity going straight off the bat for a World Championship. So we'll see the extent of Darby's injury after the show. Pac's in action. He's going to be in a match up against Miro. He just really berates him, just says he's came here because, you know, he wasn't getting utilised right, he wasn't winning. I've came here and proved a point. What's Miro done? Nothing. He's never really picked up anything here. He failed everything he's done, and I'm just going to make him fail again. So an 87 rated promo for Pac. I don't think this match will be as good because Miro is carrying an injury. Although to be fair, I'm really happy with that. An 80, all things considered. Pac picks up the win over Miro in 14:50 with a shooting star leg drop. 90 plays a 57, although the bruised kneecap for Miro took a big toll for him. But overall, pretty happy with that. Yeah, solid start to the show, and Pac gains some more momentum. Next up, we've got Matt Hardy's promo, and he just says Austin Creed has failed to pay any debts. He owes Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy is here to make money, and Big Money Matt will just, basically deliver a receipt to Austin Creed. So a 64 promo from Big Money Matt. Their matchup had a decent reaction from the crowd and terrible wrestling. Matt Hardy picks up the win in 9:01 with a twist of fate. A very disappointed 55. It's not really worked for Creed since signing, despite going with Omega, and Matt Hardy It's a good victory, but yeah, Matt's really struggling, which is a shame. We did make it a wild brawl though, because I did have to use one of those matches and I felt we could throw it away in this one. Next up we had the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament Final, and it was an abysmal matchup that saw the team of Ali and Penelope Ford defeat Hikaru Shida and Maya Iwatani in 9:15 when Ali pinned Hikaru Shida while illegally using the ropes for leverage. This means that for the first time ever, the new champions, the first ever champions, the Blonde Taraji's, Ali and Penelope Ford. So Penelope was a weak link. A 47 rated matchup here. I think everybody was expecting Hikaru Shida and Maya Iwatani to take the win. So I thought I'd change it up a little bit and give Ali and Penelope a cheap victory. And as I say, really showing that we are going to invest in our homegrown talents as well. In the case of Penelope Ford, I know Ali's came from elsewhere, but I'm still delighted with that. TD's victory nonetheless, but it means they can come back. A lot of negatives though, awful gimmicks, low morale, holding back, negative crowd reactions, but still, considering that amount of negatives, a 47 is still fairly respectable. And after the matchup, Ashley Lane joins them in the Blonde Taraj, have a celebration. 42. We move along and Ace Austin cuts a promo on his matchup coming with Claudio Castagnoli. Let's get a 57. He just says it's his time, his opportunity. He's going to take that TNT Championship. And decent matchup. Claudio does pick up the win in 12:07, but it's by count out. Austin wants nothing to do with him and just decides, nah, I've had enough. Not tonight. So 9th title defence for Castagnoli. A 68 rated matchup, despite Ace Austin having a good performance here. He might be someone that just benefits from good matches, but not necessarily needing the championship, maybe being above that and maybe going towards bigger things in the future. Moving along, we had the AEW Women's title on the line, and it was a decent matchup that saw Shayna Baszler defeat Nikki Storm in 14:51 with the armbar. Meaning, new champ alert, Shayna Baszler wins the AEW Women's World title. A 73 here. I honestly just felt like, we have to portray Shayna Baszler as an absolute machine. She's never won clean, and then that gets Nikki Storm kind of questioning. It also means going forward we can start building people up to challenge Shayna Baszler. And after the matchup, Baszler just keeps beating her down, and that gets a 66 and a lot more heat on Shayna Baszler. Moving along, we had the Trios Championship on the line, an abysmal matchup. The team of the Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, Marcos Stunt and Jungle Boy, defeated Eli Dragunov, David Finlay Jr. and Axel Dieter Jr. in 11:48 when Jungle Boy pinned David Finlay Jr. So second defence for the Jurassic Express. I just felt like too early to take the belts off them, but at the same time it's a showing for Dragunov, Finlay and Dieter. And as I say, any exposure for them can certainly help them develop. So 51 rated matchup for that. We then had the triple threat match for the Tag Team Championships, and it was about to have superb wrestling. A decent reaction from the crowd, and the Young Bucks defeated the Lucha Brothers and Proud and Powerful in 20 minutes and 15 when Matt Jackson pinned Ortiz with the Meltzer driver. Again, Young Bucks have just won the belts, so their first title defence. A bit frustrating though, it's only a 78 considering all three teams scored good ratings, especially the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks. Excalibur was weak there. Why was some negatives, if any? Inconsistency and the announced work of Excalibur. It's probably one of those matches where we did make it a 20-minute steal of the show. Maybe we just give them like 30 minutes and they can maybe get a world class rating. 20 minutes is kind of the threshold for world class scores here. So that's maybe down to us. We'll have a wee bit look into that in the future and hopefully get the right result we need. Moving along, Chris Jericho cuts a promo on Sammy Guevara, which is an 84. Some places, Sammy, I brought you into this company, I made you who you are, made you a star, and this is how you repay me. And the same with those no good son of a bitches Ortiz and Santana. But tonight I put the end to this Sammy Guevara hype train and I'll come out on top. So naturally, and about to had some good heat and decent wrestling, Sammy Guevara defeats Chris Jericho in 12:41 with a 6:30, following interference from the final member of the Inner Circle, Jake Hager. So Hager shows these intentions. He aligns with Sammy Guevara. Jericho is officially gone from the inner circle, so they've went from 6 members to 4 with Cash Wheeler's release pretty much upcoming when his contract's up. So it's going to be Sammy, Hager, Ortiz and Santana. The reason for the 6 day, of course, is Jericho's in-ring performance, but because of the overness, we did have to keep Jericho strong. So, yeah, not ideal, but that is what it is. Moving along, beatdown. Jericho suffers from Hager and Guevara, was a 78. And then we moved into the big one. Kenny Omega cuts his promo on AJ Styles, and he just talks about the history between the two guys and how, you know, in Japan he just showed he was the far better wrestler. He's made a bigger impact in Japan than AJ Styles, and it's time that he makes a bigger impact in the US over AJ Styles, although AJ has a massive impact so far. But when you bring somebody to a new company, you've got to start them off strong, and a good matchup. AJ Styles does defeat Kenny Omega in 22:50 with a surprise roll up. So out of nowhere, AJ rolls him up and gets the win. At this point in 77, AJ is on a massive physical decline, so it makes you wonder why I brought him in. But of course, the fact it's AJ Styles, the storyline kind of works itself in, the people he can have matches with. But yep, declining physical ability is going to hurt him a lot, which is a shame because he is phenomenal, no pun intended. But good win for AJ. If we can still keep him over, he can still have alright matches and then put people over down the line. And that leads us to our main event, triple threat match for the AEW World Championship. 90% of our show is on this match. MJF cuts the promo, which is an 86, just saying Moxley, we went through war. You're finally going to get a chance to get your hands on me, but it ain't going to work. I'm going to waddle in my corner and I'm going to walk out of here as the AEW World Champion. I'm nervous. I'm intrigued, I'm nervous to see what this does. I have high hopes for it. And I'm a wee bit disappointed. At 81, I was actually hoping this could break the 90s. So we had an exceptional matchup. We saw Hangman Page defeat John Moxley and MJF in 31-24 when Hangman Page pinned Moxley with the Adam's apple. Hangman made defence number 5 of the AEW World title, and John Moxley carried the match in terms of in-ring performance. The 81 is probably suffered because of the rating, the injury to MJF. They sustained a type 2 supracondylar fracture. That sounds really, really bad. I don't know what that is, but I'm worried. But I'll be honest, straight off the bat the plan was to put the title on MJF, but at the last minute change of plan, we'll keep it on Hangman. But this is obviously going to change plans as well. So 81 rated and ending the show with Hangman celebrating at 79. Show itself gets an 86, it increases their pop in the 56 regions across the world. I fully believe the promos have helped us there in that regard. The matches I would have hoped to have been a little bit better, but yeah, I think injury there cost us a good few points in that last one. But overall, a successful show. We'll back it into the main screen, we'll take a wee look and see what's happening, find out how bad these injuries are and so forth. Hopefully not too bad, but I'm worried with the MJF one. So, oh my word, that is a, well, that changes a lot. Not the Edge thing, the one at number 3. Our main announcer has passed away after our show. JR is dead. Not ideal. Matt Bloom also passes away on the show, well, on this day. So we're going to have to look at our announce team because we might lose some points with Excalibur. Obviously there's going to be let me just quickly check that. That's our announce team going forward then. We might need to look at bringing someone in. We've got a couple of days to do so. But that was a unexpected event. Darby Allin, a few weeks is fine. MGF, a few weeks as well. It's not too bad. I was fearing that was going to be like a couple of month shot. So let's just quickly see example. So you've still got Shima for a while. Darby Allin's 20 days. MGF's 22. That's absolutely fine. They'll be back for the next event. But the JR news is a shocker. It means we have to go and kind of bring people in. you ever wondered, do just put the title on Cody? So he's certainly still over. Hangman's certainly still over. Moxley's over at a good level. MJF not so much, but he's improving all the time, and we will pull the trigger at one point. Financially, performance isn't as great as usual, but again, bear in mind the show costs are quite dramatically bigger than most months. So pay-per-view revenue's up, ticket money's way up, broadcast revenue, sponsors, merch is all way up, but then that big one there, usually 200,000 on the show, 2.5 million. So I don't think we'll make much of a profit this month, but it was just worth it to try and make Double or Nothing as special as possible. But we got a wee bit more here, so again, it's just a case of expansion in Canada and Mexico. But no real pressure to do that at this moment in time, because it's not going to give us exactly massive financial gains. So we'll finish up with obviously just the confirmation of the JR passing away. Jacob Fatu says that Mayu Iwatani's too small. Viewing figures was 1 million, and that was 908,000 on pay-per-view, so that's a 1.81. So what I'll do as well, actually, is just a wee quick top 100. So 1 year into the save, Double or Nothing there was actually our best ever show. So that's a good way to end the year. Pac versus Cody, it was the best ever matchup, followed by the Young Bucks versus Proud and Powerful, followed by the Elite versus the Death Triangle as the top 3, and that Cody versus Brodie Lee match is in at number 4. Tendencies, Double or Nothing in at number 2 behind Extreme Warfare, just ahead of Revolution and Full Gear. And the buy rate, well, there you go, Double or Nothing smashes it, because obviously that's the first event since we became a large company. So that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for taking the time out to watch it. Thank you very much for being a part of the first year of the save. Let's smash it. We're on the road to All Out, our second All Out. Let's take this war up a notch. See you soon. Bye bye.